If we are not careful, the smallest insignificant thing can and will distract us. Yet I have come to the conclusion that out of all things, it seems we are most distracted when relationships are splintered with fractions of conflict, especially close relationships. I'm talking about family, parents, children, husbands, wives, grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins, close friends. It's something about when those relationships are splintered with fractions of conflict that they distract us the most. We can be doing all right, but let someone close to our heart become a conflict situation. It will distract us. I don't care how saved you are. I don't care how much ghost you feel with. I don't care how long you've been in the church. I don't care how many titles you have. Let someone close to your heart start acting crazy. It'll distract you. So it was with Jacob. Now follow me closely, because in order to fully understand our text in chapter 33 and 17, we must look back 20 years into Jacob's life. 20 years ago, for you biblical scholars, 20 years ago, Jacob had been forced to flee for his life from his brother named Esau. You remember that? See, what had happened was Jacob had always been in a struggle, even from his mother's womb, because he was a heel grabber. He was wrestling and struggling, even with his brother in his mother's womb. You see, his name means supplanter, and supplanter means to trip up. It's like somebody walking and you just easy slide your foot in front of them to trip up. That's what Jacob was. He was a slick rascal. He just slid his foot, and then when you fell, he'll bust out laughing. His name also means schemer. It means trickster. And like I said before, heel grabber. Jacob always struggled to have his way and be in control, even if it meant to trip up, to run a scheme on his brother in order to get his brother's birthright, or to trick his very own father in order to receive the blessing. But when Esau found out Jacob tricked their father Isaac in order to receive the blessing that their father promised originally to Esau, the Bible says Esau hated Jacob and wanted to kill him. Now, Esau was no saint, for you who knows the text, because he originally sold his birthright for some lentil soup called red stuff. But behind the madness stood their mother, Rebecca, who was the original trickster. She is the one who put Jacob up to tricking his father. So trying to cover up the drama that's unfolded, she seeks to control Jacob's life and destiny by telling him to run away. She says, saying, run away. She didn't say, own up to your mistake, or she didn't say, stand up and be the man. She didn't say, I was wrong and we need to go get it right with your brother and your father. But she simply says, run away. So instead of mom correcting their wrong, here it is, she camouflages it by telling Jacob to run away from it, act like it never happened, and it would get better. And when it gets better, then you can come back and act like it never happened in the first place. Somebody shout, distracted. But Laban did not let go easily. And let me talk to somebody right here, because people have been beating you up. They've been saying you need to just move on and let it go. But I'm talking to somebody here, you've been trying to move on. You've been trying to get away from a certain person, a certain group of people. But the problem is they, or he or she, won't let you go so easily. Laban didn't let go easily. And then when you move on, chapter 31, Laban and his sons pursued Jacob. Yeah, they just get on your nerves. Every time you turn around, they're calling. They're texting you, they're inboxing you. You go to Fats, they at Fats. You go to Golden Corral, they at Golden Corral. You at Walmart on aisle 8, they on aisle 9. Everywhere you go, you see them. They won't let go easily. I need to talk to somebody. Just be real in here with me. There's some folk you've been trying to shake off, but they won't shake off. Oh my God. Yeah, there's some folk that you've been trying to get rid of, but they just won't let you go. They are pursuing you. And here it is. They only started pursuing you when somebody else showed interest in you. I'm trying to help somebody in here. They didn't want you back then, but when you stepped out and you started looking cute and everybody else started looking at how cute you were, now they want you. They didn't respect you, but now they're saying, baby, I love you. They wouldn't give you nothing, now you're receiving roses. Okay, y'all saved. The problem is not that we struggle. The problem is we don't struggle well. When we go through a struggle, we start pouting, start blaming everybody, become the victim. I'm going to leave. I'm going to quit. I'm going to give up. You don't struggle well. You got to learn how to struggle well. To struggle well means I'm going to survive this thing, and when I look back, I can truly say that I've been blessed and I am a living testimony. Okay. Yeah. We learn that with God, we never give up. With God, we can never be defeated. So guess what? We don't have to trip up people to get what we want. We don't have to scheme to feel secure about who we are. We don't have to trick in order to be accepted. God's got it. If you don't mind, look down your row and tell somebody God's got it. I don't know where you come from. I don't know what you've been through this week, but here's a good word for you today. God's got it. I know they've been calling you. I know you're behind on this, can't catch up to that, but God's got it. I know you've been crying yourself to sleep at night, but my God from Zion, he's got it. I know you've been thinking about this, thinking about how you're going to leave, thinking about how you're going to move, but tell somebody, God's got it. I didn't want to come to church this morning, but I'm so glad I did, because now he's confirming to me that God's got it. Okay, please sit down. We ain't got to the text yet. Watch this. God's got it. Distracted, but God's got it. Been going through some family issues, but God's got it. Been reconciled with somebody, but somebody else I got to meet, God's got it. Got to have an encounter with God. I got to get everything away from me so I can be alone in order to struggle with God, so God can break me and then bless me, and then I can look back and say, God's got it. Now watch this. God's got everything. When Jacob came face to face with Esau, God had already fixed it. Watch this. I may have some Jacobs in the house, some schemers. Might have some Esau's in here who didn't recognize and appreciate your gift, and then God allowed somebody else to function in what you should have been functioning in, and you're feeling some kind of way. I don't know if you're a Jacob or an Esau, but I want you to understand that sooner or later we got to face whoever it is. And it may not be convenient for us, but before we face it, we got to let God fix it. And while he's fixing us, he'll fix them. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? God's got it. God's got it. Because listen, I've learned you and I can't die distracted. Oh, you better write that down. You and I cannot die distracted. Sooner or later, you and I got to face our Jacob and we got to face our Esau, because God says, I'm not going to allow you to die distracted. You can't be my child and live distracted and then die distracted. You got to face some stuff that you don't want to face because you can't die distracted. But if you get along with me, if you allow me to break you, then bless you, and you let me have it, I will fix it. It was only now when Jacob, here it is, when Jacob was not distracted. Chapter 33:17, Jacob could finally worship. Here's the question, Mount Calvary. How long has it been since you worship? I ain't talking about you came to church or somebody called you to come or you felt guilty this morning. Well, I ain't want them to say nothing. I need to go. No. When was the last time you worshiped? And hear me, if you just started today, if you're trying to jumpstart yourself this morning, that ain't no worship. That's just an appearance. God says you can't impress me, but I need you to be impactful. You got to learn how to worship by yourself before you can worship in a crowd. Some of us are only crowd worshipers. We only can get our praise on when folk are looking at us. But when you're all by yourself, can you say, God,